What's up, family? It's here, Tony West with the BLOODerFly effect, and this is episode 5. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the powerhouse of imagination, your imagination, your template of experience, your shell of exposure, how you see yourself. You know, imagination is probably the most important spiritual tool that you could ever have. It's the power to create anything and everything you would want in your life. And the reason why imagination is so important is because it's pretty much the cornerstone for whatever you're going to do. I mean, before you do anything anyway, you think about it and you imagine it before you do it, before you get something to eat. You're probably going to be thinking about what you want to eat before you actually decide what you're going to eat. You've already envisioned it before you made a move. That's what we do as human beings. We take those trickle down effects and we, put them together to piece together our choices in our lives. So imagination is very important, and the way you see yourself is really important. So you want to have a very good imagery, a self-image of yourself. It's very important, and getting to where you want to go. And what most people seem to do with like imagination is, whatever they're imagining, say if they see themselves as skinny, or they see themselves as fat, or they see themselves as not smart, or they see themselves as, not fit, or whatever they see themselves as. It's whatever you go through, your life is gonna gauge off of that. Like your self-image is like a thermometer. It's like your barometer for success. If you see yourself as a big person and you're trying to get into a healthy weight, you're gonna do like a thermometer does. Say if you're at 50 degrees and you're trying to get up to 80, and the temperature rises, it's eventually going to bring in that cool air to bring you back down to your regular barometer, which was 50 degrees. You will never go too much below, or you may not go too much higher than that. You need to raise your limit to reach that, to balance that out. Say if somebody didn't, like, they just had a self image of them being poor. They couldn't see themselves with a whole bunch of money. Basically, like $1,000 was a lot of money to them. So what these people do, they say if they got $1 million, that person would splurge that $1 million, make horrible decisions, and do whatever they could to get rid of that money, to the point where they end up broke again, just because inside they couldn't see themselves with all that money. So they unconsciously made these decisions to put them back at a more comfortable level that they feel comfortable at, even though you give that person that much money, or that much to go off of, because they're going to go to off of whatever self-image that they see. Their outside is going to match their inside, whether consciously or unconsciously. You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do is paint the best self-image of whatever it is that you want to do. Like, say you want to be a very fit, healthy person, where you first off need to start seeing yourself in that lifestyle. You start seeing yourself running, or you seeing yourself working out, or you're seeing the type of foods that you need to eat to become the size that you want. So you start seeing these things, and you start seeing the routine that you're making inside your own head. And once you start seeing these images, it's going to give you a certain image of either pleasure or pain. You're not going to like it. You're like, I'd rather stay like this. But if you really want it, you're going to see the pleasure in this. And you just start to build a very strong self-image of what you want. You see the daily routines in your image. You start to really harness this as if it was real life, as if you really saw it. Like, you could smell the food that you're gonna be eating. You can feel the sweat on your head from running and losing all that weight. You can feel the pounds shed off. You just have a new self image of yourself. You see yourself strong. That's all you can see yourself. And you will match the barometer of where you see yourself, because that's where your self-image is at. And the higher capacity of your self-image, the higher capacity you're going to have for your success. So imagine the greatest thing that was going to skyrocket you to the top of wherever you want to go, and stick with that, and don't let anyone tell you any different, because their self-image may not be the same as yours. They're at a different place, at a different self-esteem, you know. So let them be them, and you follow you, and stay focused on number one, which is you, and make your image so unimaginable that people can fathom the greatness that you're about to create, and let that guide your life. With that being said, this is Tony West with the BLOODerFly Effects. Tune in for next episode. It's going to be a good one. If you had any value from this, if you learned anything, share it with whoever you know to brighten their day. And I will see you next time. Peace.